Jesus.
Hello, everybody. Let's get on into this thing. Monday evening, money making Mondays. I will be going live every Monday night talking about real estate, talking about investing, talking about all that good stuff, not just in Atlanta, but nationally. So I am going to introduce myself. My name is Candace Conley, and I am a 21-year, well, actually going on 22 years in real estate, a real estate professional. And my area of expertise is working with investors. Right now, I am the team leader for High Five Atlanta, which is a full-service real estate team, and I am also the team leader for Team Cash Flow. And Team Cash Flow is dedicated to facilitating off-market deals and working with investors. So that's my introduction, and now it's your turn.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Nia Imani, and I am the Legacy Lifestyle Expert at Fabulous Life International, and we also have Fabulous Life Investments. I have been in the real estate industry for over 15 years. I've done everything from loan officer, loan processor, loan review analyst, property manager, real estate agent. The list goes on and on. I'm very familiar with all sides of the deal. A blessing to, partner and do some things with my girl, Cash Flow Candace. We're excited, long time coming. And, tonight we're just going to kind of go over some market stuff. Candace has some things she wants us to talk about, but I am originally from California, live in Atlanta, and I primarily work with real estate investors also.
And what's your nickname? Is Prosper?
Yes, Prosper. So if you know me as Prosper, you know me from a very special season of my life.
So we're just going to dive right in because this is a February 2022 and so much has happened in the last couple of years. I mean, wowzer. So much has happened. So we just want to kind of tap into the current market conditions and where we're at. So we all know what the last 2 years was all about. We had a lot of, we have COVID here. We have the shutdowns and everything else. And, for about 2 years, the foreclosures and evictions and those type of proceedings in real estate, all those things were on hold. And there was some COVID relief funds out there to help the landlords and the tenants. I do know of a few people that have been able to benefit from that. But all that sort of thing, all those benefits, all those holds, all that stuff has been lifted. Mm-hmm. So around the metro Atlanta area, we've been seeing just people's personal belongings out on the side of the road. It is quite tragic when you see that. And it's quite startling when you see that. And the first time that I really saw that again recently, it took me back. And I was like, oh my goodness, I felt one way like, wow, this is a sign of the real estate market. And then I felt another way, just thinking about the person or the family that was displaced in the fashion of their things just being put out on the street.
Yeah.
And, that's the reality of things. That's the reality of where we're at. And so what does that mean for us?
Personally, I already knew it was going to be a snowball effect, right? On one hand, it was advantageous for them to put a hold on evictions and all of those things. But one thing that I didn't have a lot of clarity on, and maybe you can answer this question, or maybe Glenn or Robert. So with the moratorium on the evictions, are they requiring that they come up with the back pay, or they're just allowing them to be forgiven on the rent that they owe behind and just kind of move forward? How is that working?
Landlords, we can't speak for all landlords because we know that landlords, they They might make any arrangements that they might want to make because they have that authority to do so. But most people have to honor that lease. And, they are obligated to those terms. So that's kind of like where the COVID relief funds, comes in, where they will help you get caught up.
Okay.
Because in those programs, they actually want to see the notices. They want to see all of that documentation to help get you the funds to get caught up. But, it's really at the landlord's discretion if they want to waive what they are going to legally obligated to. Because once you sign that lease, regardless of what's going on, and you've been living there, you owe that money.
Right. So I guess maybe I need to preface my question a little bit different. So are they waiving it, or the COVID relief funds was implemented so that they can pay up the landlord? Because
it's to pay up the landlord. The money is there to pay the landlord. The relief funds are there to help provide the funds for the rents that tenants were unable to pay due to COVID. That's what it is, for relief funds for renters.
So they were being compensated, just not directly from the tenant.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. And so to get those funds, to facilitate those applications, they need to see your late notice, your eviction notice, or whatever the case may be, and they will provide you the funds.
Yeah.
Like there's some programs like up to 12 months.
I personally don't do traditional rentals anymore. I typically do either Airbnb or room rentals. So I didn't have that problem. And so that was a way around that. But I just feel really bad for, a lot of investors who got caught, in that cycle of, everything that was going on, and they had multiple properties and then trying to figure out mortgages and tenants not paying and all of that. I was blessed because my system is a lot different, but yeah, so that's crazy. So therefore, either tenants are going to fall in line, do the right thing, or there's going to be an influx of inventory that will be available soon.
Absolutely. All the telltale signs, we knew it was coming. We knew it couldn't stay this way forever, be, a seller's market. But, it's low inventory across the board. We don't know how that's going to play into the prices. I mean, we're going to have more inventory, but do you think the prices are going to go down?
I don't think the prices are going to go down because demand is up, right? And sellers are getting a lot more savvier with their ability to sell and the ability to sell at a higher cost. So that may definitely affect the market in a tremendous way.
I think, historically, the winter months are the best time to get deals. I mean, so when I saw the evictions and I saw those, I'm like, man, I was thinking like, man, the end of this year is going to be prime time for investors. Let's get in position. Let's plan ahead. Get your business line of credit together. Establish all of that so that by the end of the year, you can pick up inventory. That's the goal. That's the strategy. That's the plan. And that's something that, both of us, we are passionate about. And that's something that, we provide for our clients, the strategy to look at these things that's going on, to strategize in the real estate market. So, we just know more inventory is coming, evictions, foreclosures. So we have to get ready. We have to get ready. We have to get in line.
Yeah, it's getting in position, and then also making ourselves aware what's going on, so that investors will have that knowledge. I know a lot of my investors come from out of state. Hey, love, that's one of my clients right there. She just got her commercial storefront. Hey, Cynthia.
Hey.
Yeah, so making sure that, investors have the knowledge that they need in order to navigate the market and not get, not pay too much. Because, I just talked to you about another client of mine that rushed into getting, a property. Clearly he didn't have a consultant or someone walking him through the process. He lived in Arizona. One of my partners was in the process of flying from California, winded up sitting next to the guy, and he had bought a property in Roswell for like $400,000. It was only worth about $425,000. When I did the walkthrough, it needed about $30,000 to $50,000 worth of repairs. So from the rip, it was like a no deal. I'm like, sir, who told you to buy this property?
Wait. I got a question. So what did that investor think his after repair value was? What did he think it was?
Well, ironically, the guy was a loan officer.
No. I'm saying what? Yeah.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. I had to make sure I stressed that part because being an industry professional,
he was already in the negative. Exactly.
Industry professional, whether you're
exactly,
or whether you're a loan officer, you should be able to determine property values. And
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's not their area of expertise. Think about it.
No, he's a loan officer.
But he doesn't know comps. Why would he know comps as a loan officer?
As a loan officer, you base your lending on the
appraisal.
Yeah.
So he didn't get an appraisal. He probably didn't get an appraisal.
No, he should be aware though, because as a loan officer, I've been in the game for a long time, and you have to know. Like, I mean, that's due.
But wait, this is the key. This is the key thing is the appraisal, right? So if he paid cash, or if he didn't get an appraisal, then he's just basing it off of comps. Right? So that's what I'm saying. So what did he think it was worth?
He said he thought it was worth like $450, $475, because it was some houses down the street and around the corner that had sold for like $480 or something like that. But like I told him,
he needs a better team.
Market. This is yes, he does. He needs a better team, and he needs your girl on his team to make sure your girls on his team to make sure up front, because a lot of times people get upside down in properties from the acquisition.
Yep. They start off wrong. It's already bad.
So now I got a mess to clean up, right? So he said
it's already bad.
Like $475, $480. It needed quite a bit of work. It was a nice neighborhood, but the thing is he based his comps on, hey Mario,
hey Trey,
all my people on here. So he based his comps on a property that was down the street around the corner that was basically a newer model. It was apples to oranges. It wasn't even in the right vicinity to even be considered a comp, right? And so when I asked him about that, he kind of gave me that answer. And my response to him was, at the end of the day, he had to pull back on some of his expectations as far as renovations, what he wanted to do. He literally had to reshift his whole idea of what he wanted to do with the property, scale back tremendously for it to even make sense for him to be able to sell it to even break even. So my point in saying that is, if you have the right counsel as an investor, please think the process all the way through. And I've worked with so many investors, especially out-of-state investors, who do not consider all the costs or the bigger picture. Just because you coming from New York and you're paying $750,000, $800,000 for a single family residence, and you come here and you hear $400,000, and you think you hit a gold mine. Don't move too fast. Because
in the area,
it's not even the same type of market, because it may sound like it's affordable or the bottom of the market, but in reality, it's the top of our market here in Atlanta. So you really have to know, even though you're going to another area. I know Glenn does a lot of investing in Detroit. We would have to consult with Glenn because he's from there, he knows that area, or we would have to make sure that we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we're not buying at the top of the market for Detroit. Just because a price sounds affordable, that doesn't mean that it's a good deal. So as an investor, think about the whole picture: the acquisition, your renovation costs, and your exit strategy simultaneously. They are not parts of a process. It is the process. Wouldn't you agree, Candace?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he might pivot, and these are the things that you're going to help him navigate. So so glad that he was able to get you on his team and you can get him right, because it might be a good buy and hold. It might be a short-term rental. He might want to hold it and let the inventory get tighter and see what happens. It's a couple options there.
Yeah, I talked to him about that too. And the funny thing is that he has another property here that he does Airbnb with, and he's doing traditional rentals, converting them over to traditional rentals because he's been having to fly here and stuff, back and forth. That's another thing investors have to keep in mind. When you're working with a good team locally, boots on the ground, you can eliminate or reduce your travel expenses, because now you can call Candace and I on the phone and consult with us or ask questions, or we can go by and do the check on the property or whatever, versus you having to get on the plane, come to Atlanta, buy a ticket, get a hotel room, all these other additional costs. So that was another key factor with him wanting to sell this particular property, was because he was already in another property that he had on Airbnb, making quite a bit of money, but the inconvenience of having to come from Arizona to California was beginning to be overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So again, just new investors, seasoned investors, just consider everything, when you're going into a new market, or just even diversifying your portfolio. Make sure that it makes sense.
Yep.
For the time, right now with some of the prices that even Atlanta has right now. Remember when we first got into the industry, they was giving away properties, $5,000, $20,000, $30,000. Now those properties are like 10 times that amount.
I saw a property at one time was going like 60, 70 on that street, and now they're asking 280.
Yeah.
For that same house in the same condition.
Easy.
Craziness.
Easy. Gosh, I saw some A1ers on here. Robert, Glenn, Mario. Who else is on here? Our day ones, yes. It's support for me.
So I actually have a master's class coming up. Mm-hmm. It's for realtors and wholesalers and people who want to learn the process on qualifying the deal, qualifying the numbers, and all of that stuff, because that's a part of the process, just like you said. So in the master's class, we go over like 5 steps, but 2 of those steps, qualifying the numbers and qualifying the deal, because I break it up. So we're qualifying the deal as far as the acquisition cost and the estimated renovation cost. And then we're qualifying the numbers by your cost of sale and the cost of money if you're getting a loan. So those are 2 sets of things that we analyze beforehand before pulling the trigger on the deal. So that's how I work with my clients, and that's how we put that extra layer of planning ahead and refining your strategy by doing those 2 things. And and that's one of the things that where most people go wrong in buying their deals is, not really qualifying those things. And, I'm teaching other agents how to do it and bring that value to your clients.
Mm-hmm. That's important. That's key.
Yeah.
I started working with investors before I even got my license as a real estate agent. However, it's a really good niche if you understand the numbers. And this is what I would suggest to real estate agents that want to work with investors. Sometimes you got to get out your lane, sis, bruh. Because you can't just operate in an agent capacity. And I believe that's how so many people get stuck in bad deals, because you're thinking about acquisitions. That's it. Let me get my commission. I'm out. But consider your client's overall benefit in that deal. Are the numbers right from the beginning?
Yep.
Are the renovation costs going to be comparable to the amount of the property that they're buying? What is the exit strategy? Are they going to sell it? Are they going to do Airbnb? Are they going to do room rentals? Are they going to convert it to group home, care home, whatever? Like, think the process, help them think the process all the way through. I know that's not your job, right? Primarily, traditionally. But if you think outside the box.
No, it is their job when you're working with investors and you are for fix and flip.
Well, you would think, but I've seen too many bad deals that are already closed, signed, sealed, and delivered. So because
they just want you to buy it, and they're like, okay, you can handle that later.
The statistics say otherwise. So I don't know what's going on. There's some miscommunication from concept to close, but something happened in the middle, and because when it got to the end, it didn't make sense. Okay, so I'm just asking or suggesting, if you are going to specialize in working with investors, you got to think about the whole transaction versus just your lane, your expertise, because you're going to add so much value to your client, and then they're going to want to buy more properties, and then they'll refer other people to buy properties. I mean, honestly,
hey Miranda.
Yeah, just getting into the market, I didn't really have to look far for referrals because my clients, send those or what have you, but just do right by people, and make sure that the deal makes sense to everybody.
The deal makes sense. And, your strategy and the wealth building model is truly your rental portfolio. Mm-hmm. So fix and flip is great, but buy and hold is better. in the long run. So everyone has a different strategy, and that's to be understood of what someone, what do you want to achieve? What is your goal? Mm-hmm. What are your resources? Because buying a house all cash and buying a house with a line of credit and buying a house with a hard money loan, all of that comes at a different cost, and it changes the numbers. So that's the part of qualifying the numbers, because if you are buying all cash, you can actually increase your numbers. And we can kind of do maybe some deals, some tighter deals, because if you're all cash and you don't have to wait on draws, guess what? We can get that labor cost down and that material cost down. In addition to being able to close faster and get that acquisition cost down. All right. So the cash deals, you know what I'm saying, is a little bit different. So that's why you must qualify the deal and qualify the numbers. They're completely different animals, because, I qualify deals. I could qualify a deal and the ARV makes sense. But then when I go on the flip hand side and put in all the numbers, because they're doing hard money and whatever their loan terms is, that eats up all your profit in your loan, your cost of the money. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, with not looking at the exit and what your net profit will be. And they have, and some people have unrealistic expectations. I would say right now, you should, be happy with the net profit, 20,000 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Net. After, you get your money back, you make 20K or more. That's a pretty good flip. A lot of people, they get into flips and they want 50, 60. They have unrealistic goals regarding their net profits. They have unrealistic goals as the cost to carry the deal and run the deal.
Yeah.
And they're just not prepared.
Yeah.
And they don't want to listen. They're not coachable, teachable. They may have their own strategy that they have researched and investigated for themselves on YouTube or friends or just their life experiences. And they get into this based on that. And then they're in trouble in the middle of it or at the end. Yeah. So that's not what you want. That's not what you want. You want to work with professionals. You want to get professional advice from the beginning because it will save you at the end. You think about it. You want to do that from the beginning because it will save you in the long run.
Yeah, it definitely will save you in the long run to be able to determine that all those key factors, that you mentioned. And I see it for new investors as well as sometimes seasoned investors, not, and I always used to tell people, and Mario is a lender, but I used to always tell people, just because you have money to buy the deal don't mean that you should.
Yeah.
I mean, just throw it in the bag. You can't think like that, you really have to be mindful of, is this a good opportunity, overall? And I'm an advocate.
There we go.
I'm an advocate for, building up wealth and leaving a legacy for your children. I believe that that includes a lot of different things, whether it be property, money, knowledge. But, if you don't really evaluate the opportunities that you're participating in, you'll wind up making a lot more mistakes than, memorable opportunities to contribute to your overall goal. So that's super important, that when you are, wanting to go out there and start this real estate investing journey or expand it or whatever, that you either do your due diligence on your own, or you make sure that you reach out, to someone who has experience in the industry so that they can guide you through. This is another big point that I want to make, is guide you through it. And don't be afraid to break bread with people. When I first got into the industry, I was out here just like, okay, Atlanta, I'm here. I had just took one of those real estate guru courses. Girl, I was locked and loaded, ready to go. I'm in Atlanta. I'm about to do real estate, right? And I did. Don't get me wrong, but I did not hesitate to partner with people. I met Glenn at, what do they call it? Georgia RIA over 15 years ago, probably. You know what I'm saying? And I connected with a lot of people there early in my career to do deals with people, break bread with people. If you don't know what to do not be afraid to connect with people who do know what to do, split the deal, and then, go on and, learn how to do deals on your own. However,
it's two ways to get it. You either gotta serve.
Yes.
You either got to serve your way to learn, or you got to pay your way. You see what I'm saying? It's either one or the other. So you're either going to work and intern and serve and work in that capacity to learn, or you're going to pay to learn. Which way do you want to do it? Or are you going to bust your ass on your own out there, and you're going to lose a lot of money, and then you'll learn that way? What do you call that university when you just figure it out on your own?
Hard Knocks Life.
I guess so. What is that? Yeah, you just learned on the whatever university. But you don't have to. That's the whole point. You don't have to. And so when you're thinking about your real estate business at any stage, we want to connect with the people that have the knowledge to help you build per your strategy. Everyone's strategy is different, and the teamwork makes the dream work. So that's what it's all about. So let's recap some key points that we have for investors and realtors, and then
School of Hard Knocks. Thank you, Mario.
Right there, yes. That's what it is. I like the School of Hard Knocks, and in real estate, that's a tough one.
We were struggling. We was like, I'm like, well, I don't know what I said.
I know it was called something. I know. Yeah, the School of Hard Knocks, because the reality of it is that us as consultants, we've been through the School of Hard Knocks, and we've made all of the mistakes, and we've had all the L's and the W's, and we have all the hands-on experience and knowledge in the marketplace and in the city. So those are the type of people you want on your team, because we've been there, done that, wrote a book about it, and now it costs. Now it costs. Got the t-shirt, got the plaque, the trophy, my trophy, but that's my trophy in the back. Okay, got my trophy. Mm-hmm. You know, I got all of that to gain the knowledge. So it's just like wowzer. And the real estate market is constantly changing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So your strategy and your numbers, or, you know, even from 6 months ago or 12 months ago, it's outdated. Mm-hmm. It's not, you know, real estate is constantly changing. Materials, the cost of materials, the cost of labor, market conditions, interest rates, you know, inventory. It's just, you know, so many variables, and it changes all the time. So you have to work with those people that specialize in that area.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree 1,000%, as a matter of fact. So, hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us, Miss Nina Lauren, Mr. McKinney.
Hey, Nina. Hey, Lydia. Hey, Jamal.
Jamal. Hey, how y'all doing this evening? Anybody have any questions? Thank you, Mario, for participating and holding your girl down as usual.
So, do we have any investors out there? Any realtors?
Any questions for us? Comments? Contribution to the conversation? Let us know. Are all these people primarily from Atlanta? You know them? Some of them?
Yeah.
I know some of my people from Cali are on here too. Hey, y'all.
So I had talked with one of my girlfriends about the Bay to the A Investment Club. The Bay to the A Investment Club.
Wait, you haven't seen my handle on my page? It says the Bay to the A.
I mean, you know, it's like the D to the A. You know, I'm from Detroit. Well, I was born in Detroit, so, you know, it's the D to the A. You know, everybody should.
I don't know why I thought you was from Oakland or somewhere like that. Did you ever used to?
No. I would visit Cali, the Bay Area, with some of my close friends. Okay. And go to Napa, and, you know, kind of like go for the, you know, I was there at Thanksgiving, couple of holidays, Napa Valley, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah. So I've been able to experience some of the Bay. It's beautiful out there. It's so beautiful, but it's cold.
Yes, it is. It's cold in San Francisco.
Cold.
It's definitely cold in San Francisco. I don't care for cold weather. Actually, I don't care for cold in my house. I don't care for cold nowhere, okay? I'm just not a fan of the cold weather. How does an investor work with either of you? Like, what's the process? So you want to share your process?
I would say just book a discovery call, because it's not cookie cutter. It's not, it's just not cookie cutter. And that's what, specialize in and understand, like meet you where you're at, give you some things to think about and help you figure out what's your best strategy. Because, I guarantee once we discuss like your goals or what, we'll give you some things to think about, but we'll share some information and some strategies of some things you probably, haven't thought about. And give you some deal structure options. That's another thing, how you structure the deal, because that pretty much sets your numbers. We got qualifying the deal, we got qualifying the numbers. So your deal structure is to make sure your numbers make sense. So schedule a discovery call to get that deep dive in.
Yeah, I would echo that sentiment. Hey, Adriel. In a very strong way. I like to do consultations with people as well. And like I said, specifically because I do primarily work with out-of-state investors. So it's really important for me that you understand the dynamics of our market, that I understand like what your acquisition goals are. We have 3 primary things we're going to discuss: acquisitions, your renovation, on the property that we decide that you want to go for, or determine how much money you expect to be spending in that area as far as renovations, and then what your overall goal is, your exit strategy. And I'm just kind of a very beginning to the end kind of person, simply because I've been in the industry so long. I've seen the good, the bad, the indifferent, and then I've also been able to assist clients with making some really great decisions. So that would be how you would work with me. The link is in my bio, also on my site. Candace and I do work together. We're putting together even more, joint venture stuff. So you can look forward to that coming up soon.
So you have options. You can work with us individually, or you could work with us together. Options.
Yes. It's all about the options. And I feel like, because like I said, and I'll be the first one to demonstrate, and practice what I preach, I'm constantly learning. Set yourself in a position to be a student. It doesn't matter whether you've been in the industry 15 years, 20 years, or whatever. Like Candace was saying, the industry is constantly changing. So you best to believe, if I have someone who comes to me and I'm not in a position to carry it all the way through, I'm going to pick up the phone and be like, sis, I have this scenario. Let's break bread and let's make some money together. That's easy for me. So again, just put yourself in a mindset of learning, growing, collaborating. I know Short-Term Gems is phenomenal at that. I know you haven't been in the industry long, but I have watched you and admire, just everything that you're doing, with Airbnbs and just the short-term industry in general. So thanks, sis, for joining us tonight. But yeah, don't be afraid to partner up with people. Mario and I, we work together on the financial services legacy planning side. He's also a lender as well. And get you some good partners that you could trust, that want to see you win, that have a collaborative spirit, and go from there.
I call it your business toolbox.
Yes.
Your business toolbox. Okay. You make an assessment of, of where you're at an investor, and then fill your business toolbox. So we appreciate you guys joining us today. I am going to be going live every Monday evening, Money Making Mondays, every Monday in February, to just express my love for real estate this month.
So beyond February. I said she'll be here beyond February.
Yeah, so I gotta get used to all this technology and stuff.
Do you guys know it took us an hour to go live? Like, we was on Facebook it just didn't work out. So we winded up over here. So y'all be patient with us. You know,
Oh
we've been
my
in the game for a
God.
long time, but this technology just ain't my thing, okay?
I left those awkward technology looking for the technology Facebook videos on Facebook just to be like, this is the technology struggle. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, you guys. Well, I will, I enjoyed it. Oh, you know what? I'm going to be going live more in February, but I'm going to share the schedule. So I'm
Okay.
going to follow. Yeah. So I'm going to be sharing more. So until next time, you guys. So give them your IG to get
Well,
your link. Is it pinned on there? They got it or?
I didn't pin it on there because I don't want to touch nothing, sis, because I may disconnect. I may disconnect myself. but if you but if you click at the top what Candace's name is, I see my name
Oh,
up there. And you could just click on there. But I also wanted to leave you with another little important gem. I know my partner on here, he'd be like, how could you forget that part? So 2017, I've always had a background in finance, but in 2017, I got my life insurance license. And that's another added bonus that I really wanted to bring to the marketplace for real estate investors, specifically because I see so many people making significant amounts of money and then basically living check to check and not preserving the wealth and preparing to transfer it from one generation to the next. So I do offer that as well to individuals who are getting into the real estate or already in real estate, to sit down, go over a full legacy plan with you so that you can not just get the money, but you can maintain it, grow it, and pass it on to future generations to come. So I wanted to make sure that I said that. Candace, I love you, sis. Again, you guys can connect with me by clicking up there where Candace's name is, and then it'll say Fabulous Life International. I look forward to connecting with everyone and seeing you next time on our next live.
good night.
Bye.